know,
That's hilarious. I never wear it because
yeah.
I want people thinking I'm staying home and getting high.
Well,
Uh,
people see this and they think I don't smoke pot.
there you go.
I
See,
was just, no, it's not that. It's just I'm very pro lobster.
pro lobster. Yeah, 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 exactly. How funny. All right, you're up and running on YouTube. So I'm gonna turn the mic over to you, Rev Wayne and Ozzy. This mic is all yours.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? It's Reverend Wayne Stills for Miracles Everywhere. And today we're doing Anxiety to Love by Zoe Gupta. And it's a good book. It's a good book. I'm sure you've heard it before. If you've been here before, every Tuesday we read Anxiety to Love, which is about the Course in Miracles, a therapeutic approach, a very approachable book. And there it is, right there. There it is, Anxiety to Love. And there's Ozzy. Hey, Ozzy, how you doing?
Doing good, Rev Wayne. How are
Yeah,
you?
good. You look good. You look healthy and happy.
Yeah, you too.
And
Good.
Freedom, what we do today, as usual, I play the lesson. It's a short, powerful one. They're all out right now, and then we get straight to it. That sound good? All right,
Perfect.
all right. So today I'm gonna get straight to it. Also, today's lesson 238, and I'm gonna shut this down first. Hope everyone's doing well in the room. Um, there we go. All right. Okay. All right, lesson 238. Well, about a couple of minutes.
Lesson 238. On my decision, all salvation rests. Father, your trust in me has been so great, I must be worthy. You created me and know me as I am, and yet you placed your Son's salvation in my hands and let it rest on my decision. I must be beloved of you indeed, and I must be steadfast in holiness as well, that you would give your Son to me in certainty that he is safe, who still is part of you and yet is mine, because he is myself. And so again today we pause to think how much our Father loves us, and how dear his Son, created by his love, remains to him, whose love is made complete in him.
All right, so short and sweet, as I said. Hey, listen, I want to get into it. We'll go straight to the book. There's more to play, so you'll hear it. And I know you haven't heard it today, but it's just a good listen to hear. A little music in the background, make it a little funny, a little funky. And that was a funky song. It's called Dark Road. Was the name of that song? Dark Road. And play with some fun, good words. So today's lesson was on my decision, all salvation rests. On my decision, all salvation rests. Is that a burden? I don't think so. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you are. I'll see.
All right, let me share my screen.
We're in the right hand roll.
Excuse me.
And looking forward to where we are at. I don't know if we're almost done with the book. Yeah.
Yeah, we're 80% complete.
And what are we gonna do afterwards? I don't know. I'm lost. When we're done, I don't know. Should we do it again? Or, I don't know. We'll find another book, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens then. We don't know until it happens, right?
So we're there. Go to the doctor with your inner therapist if you need to. All right.
Yeah.
Just,
You want to start us off?
I'll do a little bit and then you'll do the rest. How's that?
All right, go for it.
Do not feel guilty about going. It's go to the doctor with your inner therapist if you need to. Do not feel guilty about going to the doctor. Whether or not you go really isn't the issue. It's not necessarily spiritual to keep trusting that you'll be well because you think you should trust when you really don't. That's the ego trying to be spiritual. Do what you feel inclined to do, such as keeping medical appointments, but do not do it with your inner therapist. But do it with your inner therapist. Your willingness is what is important. When you go to the doctor, are you willing to do it with your inner therapist in mind? Are you willing to follow through with that choice? Are you willing to not listen to the ego's shrieks of fear and instead turn to your inner therapist, regardless of what the external circumstances? Be a happy learner. As you allow your fears to be transformed and transform your trust into your inner therapist, into your ego, you'll always know the best course of action to take. It's important because a lot of people, people don't mind. They don't mind death. They think death is sad, noble, but dying is uncool in a strange way. For dying because dying is scary. Death doesn't bother people as much as dying. Death is the end of the road, and people don't want to go to the doctors. They want to think correctly, and they don't want to. They don't want to make the error real. That sort of thing. And going to the doctor, I mean, I know for sure I had to make peace with that. My wife helped me, and that's when I got to that mentality of taking your base because I had to get to that place where just because I took advantage of certain things doesn't mean I was making it real. And it started with me with the what's called jury duty. I got jury duty lesson sent to me, and I didn't want it. Obviously, I didn't want to do it, so I took my base. I went to the doctor. I said, "Do I have to do this?" He goes, "No, you can't do it." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, if you go there, they won't let you do it. They'll find you have Parkinson's, and they'll send you away. So why go down? Go down to the judge in the city, tell him you have it. You get a little note, and he'll say, in every city in this country, you want to do jury duty." I said, "Cool. Yeah, what is it? I have Parkinson's disease. Taking my base. It was a bitch." This is that's sort of like here. If you go to the doctor, go to the doctor. Just bring your mentality there. Bring your spirituality with you. Bring true spirituality with you, which shows up. And then anything the doctor says to you, you receive it in fearlessness. And you take advantage of what you can take advantage of. This is level 2. That's all I got. And if you're not going to the doctor, and if you're not going to the doctor because you're terrified of medical appointment, know that when you go, it will give you an opportunity to practice facing fear with your inner therapist. You never have to face fear alone. Even if you're terrified, it's a quiet witness in your mind, evidence of your split mind that is waiting for you to listen. Revisit my story about blood tests in chapter 6, step 4. If you learn a lesson without going to the doctor, the urge to go and the fear of going will fall away. It's funny because I came right before I was here. I was in Christian Science because I went there first when I got sick, and they basically said to me, "You have to stop everything, like medicine right away." And I didn't want to do that. I got I'd been there off and on for years, but it was nothing really was a big deal for me. But this was much harder for me to do. And then when I got here, it was basically very similar in terms of the basic teachings, except for the fact that Jesus said that if it scares the crap out of you, you shouldn't do it. You should just it'll make things worse. And that's what she's saying right here. Deal with the terror, deal with the fear, and then your choices will just flow. What do you think?
Flow, the flow of the glow.
That's right. What is it? Keep keep going, go with the flow till you know. I think
Yeah, go with the flow till you know,
yeah.
Joe.
Right. All right. You want to read?
Sure. Notice the quiet presence in your mind standing for love. The quiet presence in the mind standing for love. When you experience fear in any form, remember that it is because you are misperceiving and seeing through the lens of the ego rather than with the vision of your inner therapist or the Holy Spirit. Remember that the body's eyes report only separation to you. Wow, the body's eyes report only separation.
Well, that makes sense. It makes sense if you think about it. If it's the body's eyes, if you think the body's eyes are real, then you're actually saying you think you're a body. But the body's eyes are not real. They're dream eyes. And then the mind is making it seeing and pretending the body's eyes are seeing. Because they're dream eyes. Dream eyes are not real. So in order for the dream eyes to be real, you have to be separate from other people. They have to have eyes, you have eyes, and you're seeing things outside of yourself. So separation must be real if body's eyes are real. If body's eyes are not real, then you know the mind is doing all the seeing. Suddenly the oneness appears. So the body's eyes are not real. They're just little round things on a fake face.
Yeah, on a fake. Oh boy, that's funny. A fake meat suit face.
That's right. Exactly. A fake meat suit.
Oh boy. So miracles restore our perception from wrong-mindedness to right-mindedness. Ask your inner therapist for a miracle instead. And that prayer in the course is, I could choose peace instead of this. I think that would fit there.
Yes, absolutely.
Help me to see peace instead of this.
Yes, absolutely.
Through that miracle. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Just telling you something you can do that is a miracle. Just doing that, knowing you can do that in the middle of a crisis is just amazing, because it's very difficult in the middle of a crisis to just say, well, wait a minute, I can see peace instead of this.
Yeah, exactly. To even see that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so true, Rev Wayne. That's where the miracle even begins.
Yeah, it just seems
right.
So into it is the biggest deal there is, but especially if you're fighting somebody in a crisis.
Yeah, that's like not seeing with the body's eyes, when you can just kind of take that first little step back. Wait a minute here. Do I really want to be right?
Yeah, I was going to. So when I talk with people, I said, "Will you be right or peace?" And they always say, "Well, no, I'd rather be right."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
I heard somebody once say it this way. It's more. It was easier to get people to understand where I'm coming from. Look at it this way: would you like to be fair, or would you rather be at peace?
Yeah.
You're trying to make life perfect and fair. You want to be right about this, you want to be right about that, so everything is just and perfect.
Yeah.
Would you rather do that, or would you rather be at peace with yourself, just accept things the way they are and move on?
Yeah, I like that way to look at it.
Fair or peaceful. So it's just another way of getting them closer towards. It's like a backdoor way of getting them into the right or peaceful, right or peace, right or peace, right or peace. It's the same idea, People say that, well, that's not fair. In level 2, life's not fair here, but people trying to make it fair all the time. Make it seem just. You should have done that. You should have done this. You're to blame. You're to blame. You're to blame. And that's something make it fair or be at peace. Right?
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, then people will say, "Oh, I guess I'll stop trying to make it fair."
Yeah, because it's not fair.
Exactly.
The world has proven that over and over again. That's just not fair. There's winners and losers.
That's ego. Egos, and so long as ego, and so long as we're mostly in our ego, that's the way it is. And most of us say they're still in our ego. Not all the time. We have our moments. I have my moments, but most of the time I'm still, wobbling around doing my thing. And then I become more lucid weekly. But that's also because I'm practicing spirituality all the time. I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm reading it all the time. But there are those who just get out there and compete.
Yeah, that's what drives them, the competition.
Yeah, and then the ego, and then the ego. So they're not thinking of others, and they can't think of others. The way it's set up there is natural for them just to go out there and do what they do.
Yeah.
fit into the system of capitalism, or fit into any other system of isms. They have to fit in. And fitting in is a system someone else doesn't fit in. It's a, what do you call it? A zero-sum game, that kind of thing. Anyhow,
Yeah, great.
through the miracle.
All right. So,
Through the
sorry,
miracle.
we're
Through the
through
miracle.
the miracle. Excuse me, through the miracle, you can begin to see that even when you're fixated on fear, there is still a quiet place of love in your mind, attesting to the fact that what you truly are cannot be harmed, and that you can wake up to this realization now. This quiet place of love in your mind is waiting for you to pay attention to it so that your awareness of it can grow. Be willing to focus on love and to get quiet. Instead of fixating on ideas like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me and how much will I suffer? We have to want to focus on a new possibility of inner peace and knowing love. Yeah. And to be honest with that, because I know in the past I thought that's what I wanted, because I guess in the brain I thought that's what would make me a better individual self, which is not the same as that inner peace and knowing capital L love. So
No,
in that in coming from that trajectory, I was just always met with suffering because I'm already not even doing it in the right frame of mind, from the right frame of mind.
because you think of yourself alone as opposed to the first in chapter. I think it's chapter 9. It says, yeah. Let me just see, get to it here. There it is. Atonement is for all because it's the way to undo belief for anything that. Atonement is for all because it is the way to undo the belief that anything is for you alone. It says it all.
Yeah,
Atonement is for all. Atonement
yeah,
is for all because it is the way to undo the belief that anything is for you alone. Anything.
yeah.
To forgive is to overlook. Look then beyond error and do not let your perception rest upon it, for you will believe that your perception holds. Except it's true. It is all to perceive what is not. Remember always that, that your identity is shared, and that sharing is, and that it is sharing is its reality. So you have to share with others. So if you receive any kind of joy, receive any kind of peace, it's only going to stick with you if you give it away.
Ah,
Because
nice.
otherwise, it just rots. Because peace has, yeah, it's like light. The light's not light if it doesn't shine. If you cover it up
Right.
with a bunch of blankets, is it light? Is it light?
Yeah, can't see through it. It depends how thick that blanket
Well,
is.
let's think out to cover it. The light's something that's not light anymore.
Mhm.
It's just sitting there, no one knows about it. You shine. So if your piece is like light, it comes flowing through you, your own piece of shine. Otherwise, just sitting there, and then any more. So you have this little piece, but if you're sharing it, it constantly goes through you, and you get more and more and more flowing through you, and you're at peace, and everyone else is at peace.
Just a big
Be happy,
ball of
peaceful family.
peace.
Be happy, peaceful family. You know.
Yeah, that's great.
But you don't have to. You don't have to really do much to others. Receive it up for yourself, but know that when you receive it, you become a source of pleasure for others as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise you don't need it. You don't need any peace just for you. Just
Yeah,
let
I used to like kind of be almost happy in that little state of misery, like it was almost, I mean, anger would pep me up and I could get a bunch of stuff done, and it seemed to be the way to push me, propel me almost. Like,
Well, I suppose if you're really indifferent to life and doing nothing, it can move you. But it's like it's like you're a running back. Your head's down. You're plowing through. Yeah.
Well, I do run into walls and hit my head a lot.
Exactly. Exactly. You should try to convert it into passion. Maybe some people do that. Maybe you see better, I guess. But
Mhm.
anger is more moving. Your body moves more than it does if it's in total grief, misery, and depression, where it just sits there. You can do nothing. So angry, if you're angry at life, you're angry at this, you're angry at that. You want to do something about it. But the thing is, you're not that constructive.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Because you get just as much done by being, excited and
Oh,
happy.
yeah, for sure. And that's so true. I was listening to somebody else the other day, and they were talking about how fear is really the same sensations as excitement. And we can do a reframe around things like
Absolutely.
even public speaking, where you get all that sensation up there, but you can reframe that and say, well, I'm excited. I'm not
Yeah.
scared. I'm
Yeah.
excited
Yeah.
about conveying my message, and I want to convey the best message possible for everybody. This is the excitement rather than the fear. And I really love that
Yeah, that's great.
reframing, you
Uh,
know?
think different words because people use that word. I get really excited, and they use it to mean worried or agitated. But still, it carries with it, in other words, it carries with it looking forward to a surprise, looking forward to adventure, excited. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it works both ways. And then if you focus on the latter, you can really just drop the former. You know what I mean? And you can have much more exciting time. You can force your mind to see it that way,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can be
Recalibrate that groove that,
right.
because you're right, excitement could be a negative thing, like saying to a kid, don't be get so excited, or
Exactly. Yeah, right.
even saying to your friend, what are you so excited about, or
Right. Right.
something in that. Like every positive word we can warp it into a negative word. The same goes the other way. They're just words. We're
Yeah.
putting
Right.
this meaning onto them.
Right.
They're just
Right.
these letters, shapes, lines, and curves.
That's right. That's right.
Really, right? They're
Well, yeah, well, they're sort of like equations. I mean, so you hit letters, you put them in a word, then you put them in a sentence, and it means something. And if you don't put them in the right way, you put the words and letters together in the wrong way, it means nothing.
yeah, right.
The symbols mean something or they mean nothing. It's like numbers. They either mean something or they mean nothing. The same idea. So we're making words that speak to us and tell us things about ourselves and about the universe and about the environment and surroundings. So that's language. Then you have math, which is a form of language. So the universal language is math.
Yeah,
Math
yeah.
and laughter.
Mathematics. Whoops. I think I
Mathematics and
just
laughter
broke that.
are the universal languages. That's right. Laughter, everyone laughs. Even dogs, you see them laughing with their tails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and even some dogs actually smile. Like
Yeah.
they have like this smile they'll do. I've seen photos or videos of it. It's quite uncanny.
Yeah. I
It's
imagine it
like,
sounds weird.
wow.
You think they're smart when those tails go. It's the cutest thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so cute.
All right. So where's we?
Okay, so yeah, so we were saying that we
Doing
we
it.
have to want to focus on a new possibility
Yes.
of inner peace and knowing love. This may seem impossible because we cannot sense how near it is. But this loveliness is not a fantasy. It is the real world, bright and clean and new, with everything sparkling under the open sun. Nothing is hidden here, for everything has been forgiven, and there are no fantasies to hide the truth. From text chapter 17. Love that. Be willing to focus on love rather than fixate on the habit of fear. Yeah, the habit of fear. Not just fear, focus on fear. It's a habit.
Yeah, I wonder if it was ever necessary. some people say it was necessary at some point with our ancestors. It was useful, but it's not useful now. Or maybe it was just never necessary because you can get just as much done at. Maybe it was difficult, more difficult in the past to let go of, but it was never necessary. It was you can get just as much done without fear as with fear, or more done without fear than with fear, at every time in our history. Or was there a time
Mm.
when fear was useful? Um,
Well, they say because of having to, run away from animals,
right, yeah.
like to not get eaten,
Yeah.
that fear was there. But was it fear or just a natural?
Were they excited?
Yeah.
You got excited.
Nice.
Oh, oh, oh.
That's awesome.
No, I mean, I just wonder because you hear that a lot. I wonder because even if it was useful, it was perhaps only useful because there was nothing that helped them become fearless. They weren't
Yeah.
becoming, we have more of we're more savvy in that area of becoming fearless, perhaps than and because we have a lot to fear now in society. It seems also, society is not as civilized as we thought it was.
Yeah.
Back in the 20s and 30s when everyone sort of seemed to think that everything was okay, we can go on to bigger and better things. The world was kind of seemingly right up until 9/11, everything seemed kind of laid back. The fighting was in-house and so forth. Now the world seems like it's going to get control at any moment.
Hmm.
And fear seems to be the name of the day. And it seems the politicians are trying to instill fear, 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 fear.
Yeah.
That's the name of the day. So the only thing you can do is just, because I consider it just an energy, and I just make I try to turn it into I turn it into a color, and I change colors, and I let it go. You know, and just I realize that fear is just a word, like you said, it's just a word.
Yeah.
It's just a word that represents an energy that runs through my body, and I release it. I let it go.
Oh, if you take that little curve off the top of the F, it's tear or tear.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Tear or
Also,
tear.
false evidence appearing real. That's what fear is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
False evidence appearing real. Yeah.
and so it's just fear is just you let it up, just let it all up. You really let it all up, let it all just be there. Yeah, no repressing and no expressing. When you express it, usually someone's around there getting expressed on.
Right. Right.
And that person,
Yeah.
the person's not happy. I've been expressed on by
That.
people around me. I hate it. So, I mean, it's better than
Mhm.
repressing because expressing is the cornerstone of good therapy. But still, the best thing to do is just let it be there, and it gets louder, louder, and louder. The feeling will get louder. It starts to sting, but then it dissolves. The feeling realizes that you can't do anything to you, so it dissolves. You realize all it
Yeah.
is just an illusion. It's like clouds, and it goes away.
Nice. Yeah.
You forgive it. You just say, "I forgive you, for being just not hurting me. I forgive you. I let you go. I release you." Or I overlook it. It says right in the chapter 9. Forgiving is overlooking.
Hmm.
The path
Yeah.
beyond it. So look at that. Says what you do. I release you. I look beyond you. I let you go. I
It's
release.
not covering it up either, right? Like it's not a cover up,
No.
not stifling it. You're really, really allowing that whole feeling to be because that clench, that grip is where that where the veil really gets sticky. And just moving a little bit, like they say, we don't know how close we are. Just that next breath could be where the overlooking grace comes in, and overlooks. It's not Audrey overlooking. It's the true mind
Absolutely. Absolutely.
being there,
It's not.
being there and being allowed to be there without this program jamming it up.
Exactly. It's your inner. It's you. It's your omnipresent. You're omnipotent. It's your all-knowing mind. It's the all-knowing. It's the all-knowing you, and that can't be hurt. Nothing. And that never did fear. So fear is of the ego, obviously. And so the ego was doing the fear. And that's the thing that's funny about this whole thing is the ego is scared.
Yeah.
You know,
Just a scared little
yeah,
scaredy cat.
scared cat. And so he gets angry and that's where anger comes from. Anger comes from fear. Misery, frustration, all the negative emotions that we consider negative at least comes from fear. That's why it's love or fear. It all comes from fear. Hate comes from fear. Terror from fear, obviously. So it's like, then you have anxiety, it's fear. And name anything negative. And emotions that come out at the wrong time. Even if you're happy in the wrong time at a funeral, you start laughing.
Yeah.
Fear, fear. It's all fear. It's
Yeah.
all fear. All fear. And we spend most of the time coddling fear. I need the fear for this. Language is I'm so worried about that person. I'm worried about that person. I'm worried about that person. And then I spend most of my time, around people that aren't, of course, savvy or anything. So I have to figure out a way to kind of dodge the bullets or let it go. I'm constantly letting go of stuff. I'm constantly saying to myself, how does that make me feel? Well, the fact that person said is, for instance, I always watch the med shows. And I used to hate those shows, but my kids love it. My kids love it. My wife loves it, and I like being with them.
Yeah.
Because most of my show allowing feelings to come up that are negative or hurtful or just feel that it feels just a lot of feelings, letting go, releasing. Just forgiving. And then now I have more insights. Now I focus on the relationships and I focus on what I'm doing for my wife and kid and the good times we have. And the fact that this really is just a TV show.
Right. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
different than what's going on around here. And if I can't look at the news, I can't look at the TV show that really is fantasy, that really isn't real, then I'm gonna have a hard time looking around here and seeing this is unreal.
Yeah.
I
True.
should be able to see a TV show on the news. If I can't, then how am I going to see this world is unreal? So now I'm much better at it. I can see this stuff and just not care at all, knowing that it's unreal. Because now I've released and I've forgiven a lot of the initial blast of negativity.
Yeah.
So now when I watch these shows, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med, and then it's like now I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny. I focus on the helpers. That Mr. Rogers said, focus on the helpers.
Nice.
So focus on the helpers, focus on the relationships, focus on that, and then focus on how they're trying to help people stay alive. So like she said, going to the doctors. These people, the doctors, what else can they do besides go to the doctors? It's a ER, it's that type of thing. You come in
Yeah.
and broken legs, broken arms, head cut open. So I don't need to see it, but now that I know I know it's fake. I'll remind myself any feelings come up, I experience it and let it go.
Yeah.
Experience it and forget it.
Nice.
And then it actually helps me now because now I can look at the world and say, this is just like that TV show, totally fake.
Yeah.
You know?
Right? Yeah, that's so true. It's just
You know?
like, yeah. Wow. And the movies have gotten better nowadays, I mean, the movies used to be, oh my God, that's so fake. And now they're like, wow, that looks so real.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's so realistic, what's it's still fake.
You usually see the things that come up on Show of Fire, man. The things that happen to people. And
Yeah.
these different types of impairments every single week. It's unbelievable. Every single night. People do things to themselves. And if I talk to a fireman, this never happens. This is way more impairments than that show.
Yeah, yeah, the impalements for sure.
The type of stuff they go through is much more dramatic. But still, it's now it's getting to the point where it's fun.
I
Okay.
used to love that show House,
House, I
you
remember
know.
House. That was like
Yeah.
the dramedy. That was comedy and drama together.
I know, but it was so cool how he would like go and they'd have to go search the house or whatever
Yeah,
for, they'd do talk screens or just the interesting things they would think of to find, like in
yeah,
these
yeah.
special
He was
cases.
hilarious. He was hilarious.
Yeah.
He
And
was New Zealand, I
he
think.
he was addicted to Vicodin.
Yes, Vitamin, it was Vitamin or Oxy. It was one of those. It was one of those things. But yeah, he got addicted and he got off it though in the end.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but, he was Australian or he was English, one of the two.
Yeah, he's Australian, but was able to speak up with the
Yeah,
American accent.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's acting, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't.
Although nowadays they would get all upset and say that a true American should have played that role. They shouldn't be having people,
No, no,
how
hold
they're
on, hold on.
how they're now saying like roles should go to the
No, 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 hold
appropriate
on. No,
people. It's like, well, that's what acting is.
yeah,
Like that's why you act is to be in
I
a
agree with
different
that.
role.
I agree with that.
But they sure like to mess with things because they got to think of new ways to argue and to,
See,
everything's got to be, well, I'm not included now. Where can I be included in this whole thing? Yeah,
yeah, right. Well,
just
people
gets ridiculous.
fair ways to see conflict.
Pretty soon we'll have 6 million ways to gender people, because everybody will have their own name or label or because there's so many lists for genders now, like with the one spirit and all of those, like there's just so many ways. it's
Yeah,
it's just gonna get more
You know,
and more.
I'm going to jump in here really quickly. There's no such thing as gender.
yeah,
Who
yeah. I was
made
gonna say,
that up?
I don't really care
Those
myself.
are those are it's like having 6 billion names of different people. It doesn't
Yeah, right,
exist. We
right.
made it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So, no wonder people can't fit into it. How could you fit into something that doesn't exist and doesn't reflect you in any way at all?
yeah.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if I had my way, I'd be a man.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was gonna say I don't really care how many people, how many genders there are. My thing is never as bad as people think. Oh no, he get married. Meanwhile, gay marriage the roof hasn't caved in. Nothing's happened. Families are not being
Yeah.
everywhere. It's just, so what? Let them let people do what they want to do. Let the things happen the way they want to happen, and don't worry about your life being destroyed by people. If we aren't you. Worry about your life and what you want to do, and let people do what they want to do. And if people want to be, call themselves, there are people on TikTok to identify as certain animals. So what?
Yeah.
So what? I mean, people want to do what they want to do. And
Yeah, that's
that's
right.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, I wish I had the freedom to do that in certain times also. Certain labels people have for me. You know, but you can't. I mean, I'm a misfit. I'm a total misfit. I don't fit into anything. That's why I'm here.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this is my spirituality, my religion. I'm on Zoom, and I follow Jesus, but it's my Jesus. It's our Jesus. It's not the Jesus that anyone else really follows.
Yeah.
And as far as gender is concerned, I find it interesting that when you're born, you can pick your gender. It's sort of like talk about power. It's almost like you're using a language to create your gender. You're choosing your gender. You're creating your gender. They had a Star Trek about that. Was this Data created his daughter, and she chose her gender, and that was her gender.
Yeah, wow.
That was her gender. I mean, she decided that she wanted to be a woman, so she was a woman. And she it was her choice. Yeah, she was an android, but that was basically the idea of a guy having his own daughter. So I think that it doesn't really matter. I think people see conflict is the problem. They need conflict, so they see it and they want to say, all right, you know what? You shouldn't get married to that person. You shouldn't call yourself that. You shouldn't say that you're that. We shouldn't say that we're this. You should all follow and do what I say is right.
Right, yeah.
Very rarely hear people go out and say this. I was just thinking, you're right and I'm wrong. I'm living wrong and you're living right. And it just what happens. People are always in the right when they're preaching against other people. They always happen to be raised right.
Yeah.
As opposed to saying they might have been raised wrong. Everyone been wrong, but they might have been they might have been raised. No one was raised wrong or right. It was raised.
Yeah.
It's like two flowers. Those are a better flower than the other. They're just there. One looks the way it looks, no one looks the way it looks.
Yeah.
And they're all, it's just people like to fight. People want to fight. And you were saying before, people that like to self fight each other. They're not happy unless they're fighting.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a great place to start because you should tell people that those things gender, messing with their head. Because that hits hard. I mean, when it first happened, I didn't care too much. I just didn't understand it. I had to talk to my daughter about it. I said, "Talk to me. Tell me what you mean by there's no gender." And she talked to me, I asked my other daughter about it, and then I started reading some spiritual stuff, and then I realized, everything is created. Everything is invented by us. Everything, including our names and our identity and who we are, and our gender and our everything, our point of view. And and the baby itself is just a picture in our dream that we're creating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And our identity can be whatever we want it to be.
Yeah. For sure. Well, even thinking about trying to think of this personality when I was younger, I have a very hard time to remember and recall things. And I found that this memory really isn't it's not reliable because it really just does, fill in the gaps somewhere. Like I have there's very little evidence, and I base a lot of beliefs upon that. But when I really investigate it, it's like, well, there was only really this fact, say, some one little fact, and all the surrounding story of it was made up around that fact. And it half of it, maybe 85% of that isn't even true. So what are my memories? Like they're not there's so much facade in them.
Yeah, you're right. It sounds like Memento, that movie Memento, where he all his memories were based on the wrong premise.
Is that the one where he had to have all those sticky notes up?
Yeah.
Because he had to remind himself of.
Tattoos, all those tattoos on.
Oh yeah, right,
He
tattoos.
went backwards, and everything was based on the wrong premise, so memory was a lie, and based on it because the premise was wrong. So everything he chose to believe about himself because he didn't know who he was. He had no memory. So he went backwards. So everything he saw was off. Key was not really.
Right, yeah,
He,
yeah.
he found who he was, and oh no, I was a bad guy. It's very interesting because it's kind of like we found out when we realized that we were the cause of all this nonsense.
Mhm.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
it's so silly too, because, with the gender thing, the people that are very pro gender, so to speak, or anti the trans, all that, if they just kept to themselves, then they can live their life the way they wanted to live it, and there'd be no fighting and so forth. But it's they're getting angry, so angry,
Yeah.
vocally, activistly, and doing what that creates a backlash, and then that fighting. If they would just realize that this is a big country, then no one has to really get into anyone else's face.
Yeah.
You can reach out and hang out with thousands of people that are just like you if you want. All who have husbands and wives, and that's it. Husbands and wives, male and female. You can do what you want. Vote the way you want, and then the country will move that way. You don't ever have to see anyone you don't want to see. But that's what you said. They want to fight. They want conflict, so they go out and see what they don't want to see, and they go, I don't want to see that. So why are you looking at it? George Carlin said, the guy someone complained about me and wants him off the air. Hey, hey guy, you ever hear of freaking knobs? Turn it on.
Yeah.
Change
Yeah.
the station in your butthead. I mean, this is silly. Change the station if you don't like what you hear.
Yeah.
And then everyone will live in peace.
Yeah, there's so many other channels. Just choose another one.
Choose another one. Or just choose
Nice.
one channel that there is, Christ. There's two channels, Christ or the ego. Choose Christ, and then let it flow. Choose the light.
WJ or WJ, I don't know. WGOD, I guess. Radio
WGOD.
WGOD.
That's right. Yeah, the light FM. Yeah, then you have the AM radio, the whatever WEGO.
WEGO,
Dark,
nice.
dark, 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 dark AM. Dark,
Target. Oh dear, that's good.
you choose your station.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which station are you tuned into?
that's right.
Okay, so be willing to focus on love rather than fixate on the habit of fear. And then grab your meditation cushion. It's time to get quiet. Give every fear that arises to your inner therapist and, with a heartfelt desire, ask for a miracle instead of fear. And you know what? If I don't feel that heartfelt desire, I can just say Jesus or inner therapist or Buddha, whatever you
Yeah,
call it, doesn't matter. I can say, help me be sincere. Help me to be sincere in asking for this miracle and show me what I need to know.
push it, yeah.
Or, I don't need to be shown. Just,
Sure.
yeah.
Basically, you have a conversation with the therapist. You talk to him, you talk to anyone else. Just have a conversation with him. You're gonna understand that once. He says, when you talk to God, talk to him like you're talking to any other friend you have. He's your best
Yeah.
friend. Just talking. I just say, hey, God, how you doing? What's that?
Yeah.
One time I was Regina gave me a prayer to read. It was at the on Sunday mornings things.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
A long time ago, and I read it, but I read it like like casually. I didn't read it like ritualistically. I read it like it was, like I was like in a play. I read it like,
Yeah. Yeah.
she was shocked. You read that kind of oddly, Wayne.
Really?
Yeah, because it was odd. She wasn't angry or anything. She was just amused, and I was like, "Yeah," because I didn't know she was going to give it to me, so I was surprised. I read it the way I just, I read it the way
The way it came out.
the
You
way it just
just
came
were
out.
in
Yeah,
the
I was,
mood.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so I what the hell did I bring that up for? Why did I bring that up?
It's like when you were reading a poem for Regina, you said.
But why did I
And
bring
you
that up?
just, because we're asking about a heartfelt desire, and if I don't feel that, I don't know.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Just be conversational with the guy. Just talk with the guy. That's all. Just talk to him like he's
Yeah.
right there.
Right.
He's right there talking to you, and then you listen to him. You give you an answer somehow. A lot of times he gives you an answer. For me, he gives me an answer. I wait for the feeling comes up, and if the feeling is resistance, I let the resistance go. I don't look into it. I don't care what pictures are there. I mean, if the pictures there, I let them be there, but I don't investigate it. I just let the resistance go. I just forget.
Yeah.
I forgive the resistance, and it's gone. When it's gone, that's where the insight comes up. That's when the insight comes up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's nice. Beautiful. Okay. So, your body is a learning device for your mind. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, whenever something seems not right with your body, a stab of pain, a strange sensation, a worrisome symptom, give it to the one true physician, your inner therapist, asking that your perceptions of the body be healed. Our inner therapist is the only physician who can really heal because it is the mind, which believes in separation, that needs healing, not the body. The body's symptoms and sensations are really just the body's symptoms and sensations are really just effects of the mind's projections. visiting the releasing worry about your body meditation in chapter 8. Revisit that meditation.
It's very important to remember that because it's the part of our mind that's sort of like being fooled, so to speak. It's creating all the problems in our body.
Yeah, yeah.
We speak. It's almost like you speak certain words. You create an attack on you're attacking your own body. You're attacking, and the body itself being an image in your mind. You're putting more images on on the primary image, so to speak, of sickness and death, images of death. There's all images of death. Your belief in death is expressing itself to the body and your surroundings, but it starts in your body and moves out. So yeah, so the body symptoms are really just effects of the mind's projections. So you don't have to heal the body because there's no body to heal. It's actually mental. It's all mental. Everything's mental. Because you go to the mind. My belief in the body is the problem. It doesn't mean the body, I believe in the body disappears. It just means now I know the body is not physical. Things are thoughts. The body is a thought. And the distance between me and body is the thought of distance. There's no distance. There's a real distance that we consider real. So there's no distance between me and my body and another body. There's no distance. That distance is a thought of distance. So we're really one. Everything is one. Everything is connected. It's completely one.
Yeah. Everything is connected and one.
Because there is no distance. And once you realize that there's only the thought of distance, the idea of distance, everything is the mind. So I'm not really distant from you or anyone else in the room. Me and Bob are actually one person. There's no distance between me and Bob. There's only the thought of it. There's the idea of distance. There's no more distance than there is. Distance doesn't exist any more than I exist. It's dream distance. It's an illusion of distance. It's the thought of distance. It's coming from my projection. And so therefore, you and me are not, we're separate. We know that, but now you need to feel more because you say, all right, the distance between me and Wayne is really just the idea of distance. And ideas don't actually have space and time. Ideas come from out of time. Especially the true ideas come from out of time. Rest ideas. All right.
Nice.
So 5 minutes, you song to play?
Yeah, I got a song. Yeah.
You should go for it.
All right, let me do that. And thank you. Here, hang on. Excuse me. Whoops, I messed up here. Thanks.
All right. Is it a song that I have to shut down the YouTube for?
I don't know, maybe Amy Grant, probably, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Those people always.
Okay.
If it's religious, all those.
All right.
You think they want to spread it around, but it's not.
Yeah. So go ahead and say.
All right.
Hi,
everybody. This is Reverend Wayne Stills from Miracles Everywhere saying thank you for coming by. I'd like to thank everyone in the room. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Wellington. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Ozzy. But what a pleasure, Ozzy, as usual. Absolutely love reading this book with you. It's great. And Elizabeth and who's this person? Roger. I don't know if I know Roger, but probably do. And that's it. So thanks everyone. And Ozzy again, thanks so much. I love it when I get here and you're here.
Thank you.
I think it's great. So and until I'm here Thursday, and I think I'm gonna have a Twilight Zone. So I come by and but it might be a little creepy. So because most of them are, and so come by and we'll chat it up. Until then, everyone, God bless you and peace.
Thanks, you guys. I love you all.